and welcome back to Nerd News. Today we have the PlayStation VR 2 was finally announced with a release date and pricing, and we have a casting for Wonder Man in the MCU. Let's get started. First up, we have the PlayStation VR 2. It'll be launching February 22nd for $550. That is a lot of money. They are anticipating 20 launch titles for the system, but it will not be backwards compatible at all with any past PlayStation VR games. I assume that it includes PlayStation VR modes in past games that had an option for it, which kind of sucks because that's really going to limit the library. So these 20 games have to be really good. Like, there has to be something great in here to justify a $550 price on top of already owning a hard-to-find $500 console, which, if you watched my video from the weekend, I told you whether or not I think it was worth spending $500 on that console currently. So this really has a lot to live up to. Let's look at the games that they have announced currently. We have Horizon Call of the Mountain. There will be a pack-in version of this that comes with the VR headset as a digital code, and it will be $50 more, so that's now $600 to come with this game. This looks to be, in my opinion, the best game that they have announced, and honestly, it doesn't look that great. Moving on, we have Resident Evil Village, which will be getting an update, but I mean, we already have Resident Evil Village, so there's just an update to the game to play a VR mode. It's not really a new game or even a port of a game or anything like that. It's just a mode for the game that we already have. We have The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution. This one's a new game. It'll be launching on the Quest in December, but it'll be a launch title for the VR2 and the original VR later in February, obviously when the system launches. We have Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition. This is a VR-only adventure launched for the Quest headset at the end of 2020, but it's currently only planned to have a port to the VR2, so this is another port, although this one's a little bit more interesting as it was initially locked to the Quest. This is being ported over to consoles, so that's, I guess, something. And then they announced 11 new games today. Next up, we have the Dark Pictures Switchback. This is from Supermassive Games. It's a spin-off of the Dark Pictures anthology, and this will be the first one developed in VR. They have also done Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. I played the original Until Dawn game. I haven't played Rush of Blood, but I played the original Until Dawn game. That was a good game, so I think this might be a good one. Honestly, right now, Horizon and this, and I guess Star Wars are like the selling titles for the system. So honestly, of these 20 titles, most of them do not look very interesting to me. I can think of like 3 games on here that I'd actually be willing to play, maybe 4 if I really stretch it and want to play Village. So, the cost. $600 for a VR is right in line with things like the Quest, the other system with Meta's Quest and other VRs. So the cost itself isn't terrible for what you're getting. I think the problem is that you have to buy a PlayStation 5 to use it, and those are already hard to find, and while they technically cost $500 in the United States, they don't ever really have the regular system available. It's pretty much all bundles now that you can get, and the bundles are $550, and that's before like a GameStop or something gets a hold of the bundle and makes you buy the bundle and like other stuff. So realistically, the system's going to run you $550 to $600, and then you have to buy this system, which is another $500, which is another $550 to $600 if you want the pack-in title Horizon. It's just a lot of money, and a lot of money for an add-on, and there isn't really enough here to justify that, in my opinion. Horizon's cool, but we just got a Horizon game, and this one doesn't particularly look great, in my opinion, like the little bit we've seen. Star Wars is neat, but it's a game being ported over from the Quest, so it's not like it's a new game or anything like that. And then, again, Dark Pictures Switchback. I mean, that sounds cool. Like I said, Until Dawn was a good game. I did really like it. It's one of the first games I played on the PlayStation 4. Great game. Really liked it. I don't know if I'd spend $550 on a VR system to play this, though. I don't see anything here worth $550 as far as the games go, and realistically, that's what actually matters. And spoilers for my PlayStation 5 video, I don't think the PlayStation 5 itself is worth the $500 investment right now. There's not really a game that is exclusive to the PS5 that really earns that price point. Basically, everything that's really good on the PS5 is also on the PS4. So, I don't think this is worth it, at least now. I mean, maybe in a year or two if they actually deliver on the games, but it's been 2 years and they haven't really delivered on the PS5 games, so I don't have confidence that they would deliver on the VR games. This isn't really enticing to someone who doesn't have a VR already. If you already have the PlayStation VR for the PS4 and you enjoy it and you want the new one, I can see you picking this up because you already experienced it and you already like it. But if you've never tried a VR, that price point and this launch lineup just doesn't it just doesn't say, this is a necessary pickup. This just sounds like shit, honestly. Sticking with Sony, this is just a quick confirmation from yesterday's video. The Last of Us on HBO will be launching January 15th. Like I said, we knew this yesterday, but that was kind of a leaked or an accidental posting. This is the official announcement with the new poster. Not really new information, but it's good to see it confirmed. And it's exciting. Just a little over 2 months. Can't wait. Next up, we have Bendy and the Dark Revival. This is the sequel to Bendy and the Ink Machine, and it'll be coming to Steam November 15th, but we're not getting a PlayStation or Xbox version for a while. It just says to be announced at the end of the trailer, and there's just no Switch version announced at all, which I don't know if they announced platforms prior to this. I didn't even really know there was a sequel in development. As much as I did enjoy the first game, I didn't know there was a sequel in development. There's just no Switch version? That seems really weird. I played the original one on the Switch, and I don't see any reason that this couldn't run on the Switch. This seems like it would be perfectly fine, so I don't really know why it's not there, but I mean, it looks really good. The game looks fantastic, and I definitely want to pick it up when it does come to PlayStation, but I'm a little disappointed that there's not a Switch version. This seems like a perfect indie game for the Switch. I don't understand why there's no Switch version. Also, this is really just a Steam announcement, which I'm not going to play it on Steam, so for me, it's still just to be announced, I guess. I don't know. It looks really good, though. I did really enjoy the first one, so I'll definitely be picking this up, but no announcement on when it's coming to consoles, and just flat out no Switch announcement at all, so that's a little weird. It's strange, considering the first game was on there, and this doesn't look like it's anything too different. I don't see why the Switch wouldn't be able to handle something like this. And next up, in some Pokemon news, we have Pokemon Pumas. Not really a huge fan of Puma shoes, but these look really good. The Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and there's Pikachu at the bottom. These will be available in both kids and adult sizes, and it looks like each one has its own style of shoe. I really like these Squirtle ones, although they are a little light blue for me. The Pikachu ones look really good, though. I'm not a super big fan of the ones to the left with the Pikachu charm hanging off. I mean, they look good, but I really like the ones on the right. They look really good. For Pumas, these are nice shoes. I'm not really sure on the retail price for these or really when they're going to be released. It seems to be November 12th. That's what a lot of places have listed. Kids Foot Locker had them listed for $90 for the kid, obviously the kids' shoes, and that would be on November 12th, so to coincide with the release date of the game, I guess. But they look really good. I kind of want to pick up a couple of these. I might just get all of them. I really want the Squirtle, and I kind of want the Pikachu ones, but I could see my wife buying the Charmanders, and then, I mean, at that point, if we have the other three, we might as well just get the Bulbasaurs, right? Just have them all. I don't know. They look good, though. This is cool. Next up, we have Yaha Abdul-Mateen II, cast as Wonder Man for a Disney Plus show. This is pretty cool. He played Black Manta in the Aquaman movie, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the new Aquaman movie, although I think that got delayed till late next year or something. And then he played Dr. Manhattan in the 2019 HBO show for Watchmen. Not positive on the date, but played Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen show. Both were fantastic, and now he's going to be Wonder Man in the MCU. And I mean, this is pretty cool. I don't know a whole lot about Wonder Man. I've heard that he's like West Coast Avengers, but it's not something that I follow. I'm not huge into a lot of the Marvel comics. I know surface level stuff. I'm not drastically into the Marvel's comics themselves. I read more DC comics as a kid, but still, it's cool to see more announcements and more obscure characters getting stuff. I feel like that's where the Disney shows really should be leaning into. That's the kind of stuff I want to see from the shows. I don't really want to see a long movie. I just want to see a TV show, and this should be good. Speaking of TV shows, this is completely unrelated to nerd news typically, but iCarly season 3 for the revival started filming apparently. The only sources are discussing films on Twitter. I wouldn't say that they're like the most credible source in the world or anything like that, although I have used them as a source before, but they usually link another source. They don't link anything here. They just say it started filming, and I mean, sure, I guess. It has been confirmed that they got approved for season 3, so cool. I hope it is filming, because that means we get iCarly hopefully early next year. I don't really want to wait too much longer. It feels like it's been a while since we got season 2, or since season 2 ended, and I kind of want to just pick back up. iCarly, the revival has been great, so definitely looking forward to this coming back. And lastly, we're going to do some Yu-Gi-Oh news. With Magnificent Mavens coming out this weekend, we finally have a full set release. We're not going to go over the whole set because the actual main cards in the set have been revealed for a while now, but as of, I believe, this morning or last night, we have the complete list of Pharaoh's Rares that are available. So we're going to move into that. We have Gravekeeper's Trap as the only new card that has gotten a Pharaoh's Rare, which is weird because I don't even think that's necessarily a great card. I think it's played, but I don't think it's necessarily great. Millennium Eyes Restrict is a really cool Pharaoh's Rare. Obviously the Millennium Eye part, the Millennium part, kind of fits in the theming with the Pharaoh stuff, but as far as Yu-Gi-Oh's concerned, but I mean, that's a cool one. Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Did this really need a Pharaoh's Rare? There had to be better choices, right? I know the card's in the set, but there had to be better choices. The card has a secret rare printing, it has a ultimate rare printing, and then it got a ghost rare printing. Did we really need a third, a higher rarity printing? That's really weird. I don't particularly like this pick. If they just made it Envoy of the beginning, I would have been happier with it, because I know that has a collector's rare, but at least that doesn't have a whole lot of high rarities, and it's an iconic card, so that's something. This card hasn't seen anywhere near the amount of competitive play that cards usually require to get this level of just high rarity printings. This has 3 high rarity printings. This is insane. This is ridiculous. This is the worst choice I've seen. Change of Heart. This is actually a really cool one. I'm surprised they didn't give it an ultimate rare when it came off the Forbidden list after years being banned. But the Pharaoh's Rare is cool. There are pictures of all of these going around. I didn't really want to gather all the pictures for this, but because they're from various sources, I didn't want to take everyone's pictures. But there's this looks really good. If you actually look at this card, this looks really good. This is a cool choice. Lightning Storm did not need a Pharaoh's Rare. It has a collector's rare. It's already a secret rare. It might have been a Starlight. Lightning Storm is a Starlight rare. So Starlight and collector's rare, and then it also got a Pharaoh's Rare. Now, this is right back with the BLS situation where does it need this many high rarity printings? I don't think so. At all. This is a bad Pharaoh's Rare. Triple Tactics Talents is right there. This did not need a Pharaoh's Rare. That's kind of just a wait. In my opinion, this has a secret Starlight and now a Pharaoh's Rare. It didn't need another high rarity printing like this. It was fine as just being an ultra in the set. There were so many better cards they could have picked from the set to replace Triple Tactics Talents and Blackluster Soldier and Lightning Storm. These cards did not need Fire Rare printings. That was dumb. There's plenty of other cards in the set, new cards from this set, that really deserved it more than that. Blue Eyes, I mean, fine, I guess. Red Eyes Black Dragon, sure, I guess. Neos, okay. Dark Magician Girl, I mean, I'm biased. I'm going to say cool, because I thought it looked really good, but it probably didn't need it. We just got a Ghost Rare Dark Magician Girl, but, like, I'm not going to complain about it. Honestly, these cards are all four of these are actually not bad. These aren't bad choices, because, like, I know Blue Eyes has a Ghost Rare. I know Red Eyes has, does Red Eyes have a Ghost Rare too? Red Eyes might have a Ghost Rare too, to be honest. But these cards getting higher rarity printings, like, that's fine, because they're not competitive, but they're definitely collector's pieces, so being strictly chase cards, they're not in the set at all, they're just chase cards, that's going to make people want to open it, and people are going to want it, but it's not going to lock anyone out of playing the game by having them exclusively as high rarities. Like, this is a cool way to print them, just to, you know, get people like me who want that Dark Magician Girl because it looks cool to have it. Like, it's fine. It's a fine option. Reinforcement of the Army. I think this has a collector's rare now, but I'm not positive on that. I know it has a secret rare printing now, but this might be its first, like, really high rare printing. If not, it's its second. So this is a fine choice. Rhoda is always a good card, so one or two higher rarity printings is perfectly acceptable. This makes perfect sense. This is a good choice. Necro Valley is another fantastic choice. This does have an ultimate rare printing, but the ultimate rare printing is relatively old, and it's gotten erratas since then, so this is a really good choice to not have to reprint it in ultimate rare, but to give it another really high rarity printing that has the current card text on it. So this, and it fits the theme, so in my opinion, this is a really good choice. Gold Sarcophagus. This is a fantastic choice. Not only does it fit the theming, again, a Millennium Rare and the original series and stuff like that, Pharaoh's Rare, whatever, and the original theming and stuff like that, but also this was a prize card, so, like, it doesn't really have any high rarity printings aside from its prize printing, which is beyond high rarity printing. That's just, like, exorbitant amounts of money printing. This is, like, the first truly high rarity printing of a card that is pretty much always competitively viable. We have the Seal of Orichalcos, which, again, this is another one where it just fits the theming. It doesn't really require a high rarity printing, but it's definitely an anime card that people will love, so it gets a cool one. Toon Kingdom did not need a Pharaoh's printing. I don't think it really fits the theming, despite being a sort of anime card, being the, you know, the Toon archetype. I've seen it. I don't think it looks very good. The Ultimate Rare already looks good, and it didn't really deserve an Ultimate Rare to begin with, but the Ultimate Rare already looks good and at least was a cool high rarity printing. But this isn't a competitive card, and it's not like a fan favorite card or anything like that. It's just a good card in Toon archetypes. They already got the Ultimate Rare. This didn't need a Pharaoh's Rare. The True Name, I mean, this one's fine. It's Raw support, and I guess technically Egyptian God in general support, but or maybe it is just Egyptian God support, but it's a good card, not a good card. It's a cool printing. It's a cool Pharaoh's Rare printing. This is also the first one revealed. Crystal Bond is a really weird choice. I just don't see why, like, the set has nothing to do with the Crystal Beast, and it doesn't really fit the theming of a Pharaoh's Rare. It's just, this is a weird choice. I don't like this choice. They could have gave Crystal Bond, like, a Collector's Rare or something. Put Collector's Rares in Battles of Legend and give it that. Like, that would have been fine. I don't really see a reason to put Crystal Bond as a Pharaoh's Rare. That's a weird choice. And Mirror Force, this is another one where I actually think this is a solid choice. Trap cards usually don't get a lot of these super high rarity printings. And Mirror Force is a classic iconic card. The GOAT players, the Edison players, I guess. I don't even know if it's legal in Edison, but the past format players who want to max out their decks will love this kind of stuff because, I mean, what high rarity printing does Mirror Force really have besides like an ultra rare original, I think, or maybe a secret rare reprint? I feel like it was a secret rare on like the Yugi's World or something like that. But this didn't really require a Pharaoh's rare, but it's a neat choice. This is the kind of choice I can get behind where it's an anime card. It's not really going to be competitively viable, but it definitely has value being a staple of past formats, and also just people will enjoy it. Like, this is just a fun one. I guess Crystal Bond kind of falls into that. I do know it's an anime card, but I think Crystal Bond misses the mark a little bit, just not having that same connection. Whereas at least Mirror Force is used by Yugi, so like it's a stretch, but at least it's something. Also, again, it's a trap card. Traps don't usually get super high rarity printings like this, so this is a more interesting one to me. Overall, I think the choices were fine at best. Of the new cards in the set, or not the new cards, of the cards in the set that are also being printed as Pharaoh Rare, I think the only good ones really are Millennium Eyes Restrict and Change of Heart. Gravekeeper's Trap is fine because it's the only new card getting this printing, like that's getting double printed in the set. So I'm willing to give that one a complete pass, whether it's good or not. At least it's a new card from the set that got it. But Change of Heart and Millennium Eyes Restrict are both fantastic choices. Those are quality choices. Of the import cards that are only available in the set as Pharaoh's Rares, honestly, the only good choices are Necro Valley, Gold Sark, Seal, I guess True Name, and Mirror Force, in my opinion. Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Neos, and Dark Magician Girl are all fine choices. They are acceptable because they are clearly just a nostalgia bait, and people will jump for them because it's DM support. Of course, they'll jump for them. Rhoda is an okay choice. That really comes down to whether or not there's a collector's rare. I'm like 80% sure there's a collector's rare of it, though. And if there is, then I don't think it really needed a Pharaoh's rare, because collector's rares aren't that old, so if there is a collector's rare, it can't be that old. So it probably didn't need a Pharaoh's rare. I'm not completely against it. It's another just fine choice. Toon Kingdom, Crystal Bond are kind of useless choices. Those are a waste of space. Lightning Storm, Triple Tactic Talent, and Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos are also the absolute worst. That is the worst picks they could have had. I see no value in those picks. They aren't max rarities. They aren't high rarities, because all three of those cards have already higher rarities. And they aren't cheaper options. They're middle rarities, but they're exclusive rarities. So they're hard to pull. They're going to be expensive, but they're not the good rarity. Like, if you're going to spend the money to get a Pharaoh's rare, why wouldn't you just spend the extra couple dollars and get the ultimate rare, or get the ghost rare, or the Starlights, or something like that? Like, if you have money to really buy high rarity cards like that, you're probably going to go all the way with it. You're not going to stop at like a mid rarity like this for all of them. And again, Blackluster Soldier has 2 high rarity prints already. Lightning Storm, Triple Tactics Talents have 2 high rarity prints already. They don't need this 3rd high rarity print. It's kind of just a waste, in my opinion. Overall, the set looks really good, but I do think there is some missed opportunity with these Pharaoh Rares, even if a lot of them do look really good. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know if you're going to pick up the PlayStation VR 2. Do you think the launch games look better than I'm giving them credit for? Is the $550 not a terrible price in your opinion? Let me know down below, and I'll be back tomorrow with more nerd news. Bye.